Hello, Facebook friends. How are you today? It's Wednesday. It's a beautiful day here. It's warm. It's pretty sunny. It's somewhat cloudy, but oh my gosh, it feels so good to be able to go outside and not have to bundle up, even though I got my little sweater on today because I was chillier earlier, which is funny. Today I'm talking about regrets. I was just at lunch with my 96-year-old friend. She's actually almost 97. She'll be 97 in April. And I looked at her and I said to her, do you have any regrets about things that maybe you didn't get to do? Because we'd been talking about travel because one of my children is in Italy. And my other one I'm getting ready to go on college visits with. And so, new adventure. My son is in Texas. So it's like, I think about all the things, and she said, have you been anywhere? Where have you been in the world? And I started listing off all these places that I've been, which is so amazing, and I feel so fortunate. But I asked her then, do you have any regrets? Do you wish you would have traveled somewhere else, or do you wish you would have done something different? And she got all teary and welled up, and she recalled a situation where she was invited to dinner, and this was when she was in her 20s and she was newly married to her husband, and he was in the military and they were in Las Vegas. That's where they lived. And this other military family, their son was in the military, similar age. They met them at church and they had invited them to go to their home for Thanksgiving dinner, I think it was, or some dinner. And my friend who's 96 said she felt bad that she didn't bring anything. And I was kind of stunned, actually, because that was very important to her to, I guess, have brought something with her to share with this family who had been so gracious to invite them. But what then she started to say was that this family had a son that was close in age to her and her husband. And I said, well, there you go. That's why they invited you. They wanted to be around young people. And they wanted to be in your presence, and that was your gift. But she felt so bad about this, you all, and this really caused me to think about where in life do we regret things? What is it that maybe when we get to a place where we know we're not going to be around much longer, or maybe we get ill and we know that we have something that's going to take us into the next lifetime, we think to ourselves, do I have any regrets? And my son actually over the holiday, here comes my buddy. He's trying to get over my vibration plate in my, and then get up here and get some pets because I've been gone for several hours. But over the holidays, my son was saying to me, Mom, do you know what? He read this book or read this article about centurions, people that had lived to be, hello, Teresa, people that had lived to be 100, and what they wished most about their lives. They're 100 years old and they were being interviewed. And what they said was, the majority of them said, I wish I had been kinder. And I don't know if it was kinder to themselves or kinder to other people. But lately what I've been thinking about is that I don't have any regrets in my life right now. I have done so much healing work. I have done so much soul searching. I have done so many deep dives into myself and into my relationships and everything, that I don't have any regrets. I have dreams and goals and desires about what I want to do next, where I want to go in the world, how I want to serve, what maybe I want to learn about myself. But I don't really have any regrets because everything I've done, if I made a mess up with somebody, I've given them an amends. If I needed to do something and I can't, maybe sometimes when you can't give an amends to somebody because they're gone, they've transitioned, or they're not in your life, you don't know where they are, then maybe you make a living amends. Maybe you just work on yourself and change your behavior. But I was sitting there just thinking, how many of us go through life and we get to the end of our life, or we get to where we're, on our deathbed and we think, I wish I coulda, woulda. And my mom shared something like this with me when I asked her this several years ago. I was like, Mom, do you have any regrets about your life? Is there anything you wish you would have done or seen or changed or whatever? And she told me a story, an amazing story that I'd never heard in my whole life and I didn't know. And it was crazy, you all, because in my 50 years of life, I had never heard this story. And this was something she regretted. And I thought to myself, wow, I just couldn't believe it. But I know a lot of times we don't talk about this stuff and we don't say things to people like, I'm sorry, or I was wrong, or I love you, or I wish I could change this, but I can't. And this is all part of learning and growing. And sometimes we can't change, of course, the past, but we can move forward and we can do our life differently. And we do have a choice. And this woman who I was eating lunch with today, this 96-year-old friend of mine, I looked at her and I said, with your business, she and her husband started a multi-million-dollar supplement business, multi-million-dollars. And they have impacted thousands and thousands and thousands, probably millions of lives with these supplements that they started with two other people at their kitchen table. And yet she feels bad about this one incident where she didn't take something and offer something at this table to these people that invited her for dinner. And I said, Audrey, you are an amazing woman. And I said, you have impacted so many people in so many ways for so many years. But I think she's carrying that burden with her. And I hope today that I reminded her of her value and her worth, because I don't think she has a lot of that. And she's gone through a lot of years not feeling as though she was valuable and worthy. And that's one of my dreams in helping women, is that they will remember their value and their worth and the impact that they make. And sometimes we don't know what kind of impact we make because people don't tell us. They don't remind us or share with us their experience. I mean, this has happened for me many times where I've mentored and I've done Akashic readings and I've done service work in my Al-Anon program. Thank you so much for the like for many, many years, but you just never hear about it. You don't know how it made an impact. You don't know how it changed somebody, but you definitely know that if you did the best you could in that moment, that you made a difference. And that's all you can do. And this lady the other day, I forget where I was, but she just said, Melissa, you've made a difference in my life. And we don't realize that sometimes we just impact one person makes such a big difference. It's such a big deal. And I know people out there that are making a big, giant million people impact or whatever. And the majority of us are probably not going to be doing that kind of thing. But if we live to be like, let's just say 96 years old, how many lives do we really impact? A lot. And we just don't know it. And so we just have to keep getting up every day and being ourselves and healing and growing and not having any regrets. Like, what do you want to do in your life that you haven't done yet? Or where in your life do you have some feelings of angst or places where you know you need to go make an amends or you need to fix something that happened years ago? If you can, and if you're called to do that, then do it. And maybe just sharing it with somebody else, even if you can't share it with that person. But there's so much healing always to be done. And I know personally, I don't want to have any regrets in my life. I don't want to have any, zero, none. That's why I continue to show up and do the healing work in whatever form, shape, example that looks like, because I want that for myself. And I want my children to know that that is possible for them too, that they don't have to have any regrets in life and they can live their lives to the fullest. And part of the growing and evolving process, the spiral of life, is to work through those karmic, if you want to call them that, those karmic issues that you have, or those contracts that you have to live out in this lifetime. But the issue is that I see is so many people don't want to work on themselves. Although I think that might be changing, and I hope it is. And that's where I want to make an impact. I want people to know that there are people out there, and there are really a lot of us that have done a lot of work on ourselves who want to mentor and help and be the way showers and be the role models or the examples or the leaders or the pioneers or whatever you want to call it. Not that everybody's their own guru, you all. Everybody is their own guru. But there are people maybe that are just a little bit farther down on the path, or they've done a little bit more or had a little more experience, and they are willing to share that with you so that you can start to uncover and to peel away those places within you that want healing, that want wholeness, that want to feel fulfilled, that want to feel like, oh my gosh, I am really here and I am really living my life. And so that's my message for today. I am getting ready to go to my voice lessons. I told you all I'm going to take voice lessons, and this is something new for me that I've never done before, and I'm so excited about it, and it's pushing me out of my comfort zone a little bit, but then at the same time, my teacher, she's really amazing. I took piano with her, but I want to go do something for myself, and using the voice is so critical and so huge. And I know that I have the gift of my voice, and I want to go and expand on that, and I want to get better at it, or I want to improve it, or I want to just make sure that I'm using my voice in the most authentic, genuine, highest way possible. So thank you for watching today, you all. Thank you for being here. Put in the comments, please. Let me know if you have somewhere in your life. And actually, this lady that I know gave me a card. She did a talk a few years ago, and I was at the National Speakers Association with her, and she did a presentation, and she gave me this card, and it said, what do you regret? And she actually goes out in public places, and she sets up a little table, and she has people write down, like, what do you regret in your life? And then mail it to her. And so she can receive, people have loads of regrets, but why don't we work through them? Why don't we work through them? Or why? I mean, I don't know if this is the first time Audrey shared this with somebody in her whole 96 years of life. Like, I regret not taking something to this house when these people invited us over. And so where is it in life that you have a regret? What is something you regret? And guess what? You have the possibility to shift that energy, to shift that vibration of regret, to shift that place within you that maybe doesn't feel whole or doesn't feel healed or healthy or whatever. But you have the power to do that. Nobody but you. And so if you have any regrets, go do something about it. Go share it with a safe person. Go write it down. Go ask Spirit or the universe or Shakti or whatever. Go ask for it to be unfolding for you or revealed in a deeper way. Or how can I heal that? What can I do to make sure that I don't walk through the rest of my life with regrets? And I know for me too, over the years, anytime I had anything that needed to be healed and I asked for help, Spirit would bring in whatever person, place, or thing I needed to work on and show me where I needed to change that or where I needed to heal it or what about it was making me feel unwhole. And I worked through it all. I worked through everything, all of those relationships, all of those people, places, and things. And don't get me wrong, there will still be times for me to work on it. It will go deeper and deeper and deeper, and the journey never ends. But I get the feeling that every time I do it, the fear around it or the angst around it, the anxiety, the worry, it lessens and it gets less and less and less. And what does that do for me? That makes me feel more joyful. It makes me feel more authentic. It makes me feel more genuine. It makes me go out into the world and radiate this vibe of healthy wholeness. And that's what I want to do. I want to bring that vibe to other people and my family and then my community and then greater parts of the world. So that's my message for today. I know I got a little passionate today, didn't I? Oh my gosh. So you all, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Please put in the comments any sort of things that you would like to share. If so, or not, maybe you could just send me a DM and I could just read your message and we could have a convo or something. Who knows? But you take care and I will look forward to connecting with you again very soon. See you soon.